Check, check, check. Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is a quick y'all. I'm watching this. And I have my intro video and none of that prepared because I'm not in StreamYard right now. I feel like I'm gonna head back to StreamYard soon because Restream is just not given what I thought it was supposed to give, in the words of Roland Ray, rest in peace and all of that. But y'all, I just completed season 2 of Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black, and it was so, so, so good. Now, I must say this, that my thing about Tyler Perry is that in a lot of the dialogue, it's super repetitive to me. But once you can get past like the repetition, then you know you be excited about watching the show. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't realize just how repetitive a lot of the dialogue is in how he writes his script. And so if you don't realize it, then maybe you enjoy it. But for me, I have to like think past just how many times they repeat the same thing like over and over and over. Like for example, two of the characters may be talking. Like let's say Horace and Kimmy are talking. Hey Toot. Thanks for joining me live, girl. um Maybe Horace and Kimmy are talking, right? And Horace might give Kimmy an instruction, and Kimmy will be like, "Are you sure you want me to do it?" And Horace will say, "Yeah, I want you to do it. Just do it." And Kimmy will be like, "Are you sure?" And Horace is like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And Kimmy's like, "Are you really, really sure you want me to do it?" And they'll go on like that for me. It feels like a good 5 minutes. It might not be that long, but it feels like it's that long. And so I don't like how Tyler Perry writes in terms of that, but the show is still great. So if you haven't watched season 1 or season 2 of Beauty in Black, then please note that this is going to be filled with a lot of spoilers. So you might not want to be in here for this. I'll give you a few minutes to excuse yourself. But spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. And I'm going to make it quick. I'm on my lunch break. I should literally be driving to the Publix right now to get some watermelon and some lime for my lunch because that's what I feel for. So between my drive to the Publix, by the time I get to Publix, then I should be done with this review, or just giving my commentary on it. So I'm not gonna go episode by episode or anything like that, scene by scene. I'm just gonna give my overall thoughts on season 2. So I was excited when they finally realized that Horace did indeed marry Kimmy. When Roy found out, when what's his name? Julius. Is that the man's name? I don't remember his name. When she came out and she was like, it's Mrs. Valerie, ma effa. I was like, yes, Kimmy, yes. Because she went through a lot. She went through a lot. They were ex trafficking her, had her up in the strip club, shaking her booty and all of that. For those of you who haven't watched the series, season 1 is basically, us realizing that Kimmy, as a young girl, she was thrown out by her mom. She got caught up, her and her friend Rain, trafficking drugs or whatever. And when they got arrested, the judge and the police officer, over their case and whatever, got them off, but they had to pay them back by literally being ex trafficked. So that's the premise of their story. So Kimmy is now married to Horace, and she is now the COO of this company. And a lot of ish is going to continue to hit the fan if you continue to watch from episode 1 to 8. My only thing with some of the episodes is that I wish that we saw Kimmy in the office sooner. It felt like Kimmy did not get into the office until episode 8. Literally the end. And that pissed me off because I'm like, not y'all are about to end. I don't know if it's going to be like a two-part season like last time. But I'm like, Tyler, not you're about to end season 2 like this. She just got in the office. She read all these people down for filth. The ex-wife, the daughter-in-law, the son-in-law, Julio or whatever his name is, Julius. Why Jules? I don't know why I keep calling this man Julius. Jules. She read all of them down for filth. And not only that, she proved that she is actually a good businesswoman, right? Even Horace was like a little bit surprised that he underestimated like how good of a businesswoman she could be, because she sat in that boardroom and she was like, we could be saving 37% on this, and if we stop advertising with this radio company in 4 years, the company can make this much money. And what are these offshore accounts and blah 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 blah. And everybody was just stunned. Everybody was just stunned, and I was happy that Tyler Perry didn't make her character out to just be this person who just didn't know anything and needed to have Horace in her ears giving her the play by play, because that's what it looked like at the start when she entered that boardroom. It looked like she was going to need Horace on the phone with her, giving her a play by play of what she needed to do and what she needed to say. But she didn't. And she proved herself in that scene as a force to be reckoned with. Like, y'all thought that I was just this hood rat that Horace got off the streets, but no. I'm a businesswoman, and we found out that she actually worked for a financial company, a finance company, way back when. I don't know, because I don't even remember if at any point in time Kimmy went to college or anything like that. That was never a part of her storyline. But we realized in episode 8 that Kimmy is actually a good businesswoman. One of the things I also don't like about how Tyler Perry writes, especially for this show, is that they curse so much. I don't get why they have to be like so just, I don't know what's the word. Crass? Is that a word? Somebody help me. Like, I don't know. Something about just how he writes for this show is just so vulgar in terms of how they talk. It's like MFR this and ninja that. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I wish that, I don't know, there was a little bit more refinement in terms of these people who are supposed to be this wealthy this wealthy black family in Chicago. I get it. I don't know. I can't even say I get it because I don't get it. Like, were they just these? Because it doesn't sound like the family was ever like some hood people. When Horace and his brother were talking in the hospital room, it sounded like they always had a silver spoon in their mouth. So if this is the background of this family, that this family was always just these wealthy people, and they continue to be wealthy even into Charles Charles and Roy being children, teenagers, now adults, stepping into the company. If they were just always these wealthy black people, then why are they not more refined? Because the way Tyler Perry has written all these characters, it's as if they were always just some hood rats, and they caught a lick, and they started a business, and they still have this hood rat mentality. They still have this ghetto mentality, this gangster mentality. I don't know. It's just something about how he has written these characters that just, I don't get why they gotta curse so much. Why every other word um has to be a level of vulgar. Like, I don't get it. And so I wish that he would refine the characters some more. Like, Olivia is supposed to be this. I mean, she's not wealthy right now. Obviously, she's going through some money problems. She needs to borrow $1 million and stuff. But she's supposed to be like this, the rich black matriarch of this family. You know what I mean? Horace's brother, I can't remember his name. Um, that man that Tina Knowles used to be married to. I can't remember his name right now, but he's a character in the show, and he plays a judge, and just the way that he speaks and carries on, I'm like, are none of these people educated? And I get it. We always say black people aren't, monolith and all of that. So we don't always have to show up in every space, you know, speaking the queen's English and putting all our degrees to work. But even in the business, even in business, they still talk like they're on the street, you know doing gang stuff. Like, I don't get why Tyler Perry has written them that way. And maybe one day he'll sit down and somebody will ask him, like, why do they curse so much? Why do you have these rich people talking like they are they just got off the streets, they just got out the hood, and they're still in like this gangster mentality? Why is every other word, an expletive? I hope somebody can ask Tyler Perry that one day, because I really want to know. you know Rain, for me, Rain is going to cause Kimmy a lot of problems. That little boy that Rain pushed off the roof or off the patio, and now he is unalived. That little boy is Jules's son. Hey, Miss Cece, how are you? That little boy is Jules' son. So, and my thing is, they didn't have to move the body. I don't know why. I don't know why Rain moved the body. They could have literally called the police and said, "Oh my God, we just came out here and it looks like he fell off the roof or something." Like, I don't know. But them moving the body and all of that stuff, it's going to be a mess when Jules finds out that his son is no longer with us. Because Kimmy already threatened him in the office that she was going to be coming for him, his kids, his wife, and everybody. And I've seen a lot of think pieces on TikTok about Rain, and just the whole thing that sometime as you are elevating in life, there are some friends that you have to leave behind. And this is a prime example of that. Kimmy should have given Rain some money and said, "Girl, go on about your business, go be safe, take my sister with you, keep her safe, and let me handle this over here." That is what I wish Tyler Perry had done. If I was in the writer's room with Tyler Perry, I would be like, hey, because because Rain and Kimmy's sister are still in danger, you should, send those character off somewhere for a while and let Kimmy and Angel stay in the house so that Kimmy can figure some stuff out. Because Rain, and I don't know about Angel either. Angel and Rain, they have been very disrespectful to the staff in that house. Again, I don't know why Tyler Perry has written it like that for them to be just rude. They're just so rude. I don't get it. Right? But that's how their characters have been written. That's the script, right? But they are about to F this whole thing up for Kimmy. Angel's about to F it up for Kimmy, and Rain is about to F it up for Kimmy. And so I wish they could go on somewhere. But it's a little too late now because when part two comes, because I think this is going to be a season two, part one, and then part two type of thing. When we come back for part two, episode one, or I don't know, maybe Tyler Perry's gonna wait until like all the way down to episode seven or episode eight again for Jules to find out that his son has been taken out. He's gonna go scorched earth on everybody. He's not going to care about who is the boss over him. He knows where all the Bellary bodies are buried, and he's going to dig them up. And this is how things are going to be effed up for Kimmy. And I'm sad because of that. Because that's the only way Tyler Perry can write it. Jules is going to find out his son has been unalived, and he is going to F shit up for the whole Bellary family. And there's nothing no one will be able to do about it. Especially if Tyler Perry writes it and believes and makes him believe strongly that Kimmy did it. Oh, God. He's probably going to take Kimmy's sister out. Then he's going to take Angel out. Then he's going to take Rain out. And then he's going to come after Kimmy. Miss Cece says, I don't understand Tyler Perry not pivoting to hire writers for better products. The audience has graduated from his old formulas. He needs to put. Yeah, it's just too much cursing. Like, at one point, I was like, oh my God. Like, in some of the scenes, I was like, they don't even need to be cursing for this. Like, when the guy came to the garage and was telling Angel, like, Hurry said that he could drive any of the cars. And just the way that Angel was carrying on, he's like, yeah, yeah, Ninja, go get me the keys. Yeah, 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 you security ninja. I want this. I'm like, why does he have to be talking? Why does he have to be talking like this? Like, I don't know. And I get it. Maybe in Tyler Perry's mind, once you're from the streets, you're just gonna continue to act like you're from the streets. You can't even pretend like you're supposed to be there. And this is what I'm hoping for as Tyler Perry continues to write, is that he will start to have these characters starting to act like they're supposed to be there. Kimmy is starting to act like, you know what? I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be the boss. But Rain and Angel, it's like, come on, get it together. And now with Rain pushing that boy off the off the roof because she couldn't wait five. I don't know why Tyler Perry wrote it like that. Like, you couldn't have Rain wait 5 seconds to hear the girl say he wasn't graping me, because he wasn't graping her. And so you go up there and you think, oh my God, you're on top of her. I guess she's traumatized by everything she's been through. You're graping her, and now you pick up a farming fork or whatever, and you then push this boy off the roof. You didn't even know that it was Jules' son. Now you're gonna find out it was Jules' son, and now issue's gonna hit the fan. You said that's Tyler Perry's biggest pitfall. He will not let. I want Tyler Perry to let me join his writers team because I'm not a trained script writer. But when I see certain things happening in some of these shows, I was like, if you were bouncing ideas off of more people, you wouldn't have written that way. That's how I think when I see how things play out in some of his shows. I'm like, dang, if you had about three more people in your writers room with you to bounce ideas off of, you'd have probably not made that scene go down that way. The suspense could have still been there without you writing it that way. But it shows still. I mean, Beauty in Black is one of those Tyler Perry shows that I feel is, you know it's good. I won't even lie. Like when episode 8 ended, I was ready for episode 9. And I was like, "Wait a minute. We're done?" Like, what you mean? So it's still good. It's just there's something about how he writes sometimes that, like, I'm like, "Ugh, I wouldn't have written it that way. That could have been better. That scene could have played out a little bit better if you had a couple more writers in the room." I think he leans on the fact that he made his way by writing all his stuff, so why break it? But is it really that he has no other writers? Because I need to go check the credits. The credits on Beauty in Black to see if he's the only writer for real. See if he's the only writer. So those are my thoughts, y'all, on Beauty in Black season 2, episode 1 to 8. Um Kimmy is now the boss. She went into that boardroom and she proved herself to be the boss. I think they thought they were going to sit in that shareholder meeting and she wasn't going to know anything. She knew that. She put them in their place and she left that meeting on a high. And I think in some regards she also left with them respecting her. Um Things are going to go badly for Kimmy though, because her friend Rain shoved Jules' son off the roof and moved the body. Oh, and what's his name? Charles. Charles is a dum dum too, because how do you have some people try to rob you in your house? You had to take them out. And rather than call the police to report a crime, you decide that because there's so many things against you already in the police system, you're not gonna call it in. You're gonna be at your house chopping up bodies and stuff. I'm like, what? That is so dumb. Like, Tyler, why are you writing? That's one of those scenes where I'm like, why are you writing it like that? I'm sure there is a big old property like that has 20 summer houses on it. You're trying to tell me that there is no camera footage that can show that these armed men, came into your house to try to rob you? So now, on top of Jules' son being unalived, you have Charles over there with his drug using self about to have several, murder charges, because rather than call the proper authorities after a couple people tried to rob him in his own house, he decides to cover it up. And now he's going to have the lawyer dude, I don't remember his name. He's going to have the lawyer dude also being caught up because the lawyer guy came over there at the end of episode 8 to check on Charles, just to find him with a chainsaw cutting up people. He didn't have to do all of that. The second you had to pow some people that were actually intruders in your house, you call the police and you say this is what happened. And you get it sorted out that way. But nope, not Tyler Perry. He needs suspense upon suspense upon suspense upon suspense in every area. And for me, that's not always necessary. It's not always necessary. And I think Charles has it in him to actually Charles has it in him to be more than what Tyler Perry has him being. Just this gay dude who is always coked up. He doesn't have to have Charles being that. I think Charles is smart enough to be more, but he's traumatized because his dad, keeps kicking him down. And truth be told, his daddy is probably bisexual or gay too, and hiding it. Daddy's in the closet while his daddy is cursing him out for being gay. And maybe if Charles had people in his life that was telling him that you are destined for greatness and you can do great things, maybe he wouldn't be doing so much coke. I mean, the lawyer guy is trying, but I don't know why Tyler Perry just wants Charles to just be this this cokehead who is not going to be able to do anything else with his life. Maybe when we get to, I don't know what's going to happen when we get to part 2, because at the end of episode 8, um people claiming to be police officers were, running into Charles's house. So let's see what's gonna happen to Charles, y'all. Let's see what's gonna happen with Charles. Mallory, I thought I was going to like Mallory in season 1, but she has turned out to be a real B. Kimmy is not the enemy, and I wish that Mallory would realize that and align herself with Kimmy, but she wants to treat Kimmy as the enemy. So guess what, Mallory girl, you're gonna be an enemy too. But anyways, y'all, those are my thoughts. Thank you for joining me. Now I gotta run into Publix and get my lunch so that I can make it back before my lunch break is done. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter now called X at How I See It, or on TikTok at How I See It TV. Until next time, walk good.